Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and I just got through getting rid of all that debris from cutting down the large crepe myrtle. This wasn't your average one you see on the street. This thing was about at least 30 feet tall. It was taller than a two-story house, so there was a lot of wood there, and I decided to just get everything done as quickly as possible. It took me 3 days cutting it down, and then today I loaded it all up in the truck and had 3 garbage cans down one side full of all the little pieces that were too big to mulch but too small to handle any other way. And then the bed was full of the trunk, and there were some pieces that big around in there. I figured it had to come to half a ton on account of the way it set the truck down. And I went to the dump, and the safety Nazi had already beat me down there. First thing the lady says, you got to have a hard hat and a safety vest. Well, I didn't have them, so that ran my $30 dump fee up to $54.78. And the boss lady was with me. She was going to supervise, and she was going to have to buy a hard hat and a safety vest too, so she got out, waited at the gate, and at least we were rid of that tree. I got my first sticker ever from the land down under, and this being a special occasion, if I had a didgeridoo, I'd play the thing. I think that's what they call that big horn that makes that odd noise, you know. I kind of like to hear them. Anyway, I got these stickers from Emma's Spare Room Machine Shop, and I always watch Emma, and she's always got some interesting projects. And I don't know where her and the other guys in Australia find all the stuff that they find. They've always got some interesting machinery, like Emma's got a hand-operated shaper, and Lance has got this shotgun shell type engine. Well, it's an engine that you can start by firing a shotgun shell down in the cylinder, and you know. And then Xanadu, that's Rob there. He's always coming up with something unusual and new. So anyway, this is my first stickers from the land down under, and that'll go up there on the sticker board. And then we'll get down to today's stuff. Yeah, get my tang untangled. Just a while ago, the brown truck of happiness came by and dropped off a little Hoist from Northern Tool. And it's an interesting story there. I went online with Northern Tool and looked, because I'd been in their store looking. They had one in there for $130. Well, online they had one for $79 or $89. I guess it was $89 what it was. So I ordered it. You know, ordered it on my cell phone, and I got back home and I got to looking on the same page. For $5 more, there was one that would lift twice as much. So it was already past their office hours, and I called first thing in the morning and told them, hey, hold on there, don't ship that thing. Let me pay the extra $5 and get the twice as strong lift. The first one had, I think it listed a 1/17 horsepower motor, and this one supposedly got a 3/4 horse motor. So let's open up the box. I hadn't opened the box yet. I saved that up. There it is right there. See if I got it in the camera. All right. And I'll try not to get in the way. See if I can zoom back. Nope. I'm going to have to move the camera back a little bit, maybe. All right. Sorry about all the handheld stuff. All right. We're going to open this thing up because this is the first time I've seen it in living flesh, you know, so to speak. And it came in a great big old box. There's some nice bolts. I love bolts. Undoubtedly, these are the brackets that showed it riding on top of something. And see if we can just. Here's the control. That's the control for the thing. Oh, can't stand being dropped, and it ain't strong enough, huh? All right. Well, there's burn. This thing is surprisingly heavy. Pull it out of the box. I haven't really got it all worked out in my mind yet as to exactly how to install it. Here we go. I dropped something else in the floor there. Oh, okay. This is the little clevis thing where you can use 2 wires and pick up twice as much. It'll lift 220 pounds with 1 wire, or you can hook it into the side here, run it through that clevis and hook it into the side here, and it'll pick up 440 pounds. So let's set it up here where we can see it. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to mount that, but at least you don't have to have a DC power supply and finagle a bunch of stuff, and this is made to be a hoist in the first place. So I'll figure out what to do with it, and then we'll get on to the next step from there. A little preliminary investigation shows me that I hit it really lucky. My little channel that I've got the wheels on is 9 inches long, and this guy here just happens to be 9 inches from hole to hole. So I can put a couple of brackets and hang that sucker right underneath there. I think that's how I'll do it, and it'll be rolling on before I know what's happened. So next step coming up, the plan here is to cut a slot in each end. It's about 8/10 of an inch long, and use that to bolt onto the top part of the little hoist, and the edges will hook onto my trolley. That's what I'm thinking. So I've got to do this to more than one piece to make it work out, so I'll show you when it's done. Well, with the changes, I don't have that burn it. Should pay attention. I don't have the pulley thing on top, the brackets to hold it, and the pulley bracket was what was holding in this axle to run those bearings. And I thought, well, I'll use the one that was hanging down, but unfortunately it's shorter, so I'm going to chuck this thing up and put threads in it, so I can put bolts in it to hold it in. And this right here is making good progress. The brackets there, that'll be just a little bit more measuring and adjusting, and then I'm really close now to hanging it up there. Okay, so to hang this thing up, I'm going to let the motor sort of hang out into open space, which is why this is off center of the holes. And what I'll do here is I'll put some standoffs to bring this up so that I've got 2 inches of clearance in here between the bearings and the red plate there. And what I've done here is I notched out for this axle so I can get this in there really tight and put this pin through that holds here for the pin, and I'll put another pin through up on this end, and then this guy can hang there from these pins. That's a lot simpler than the stuff I had done before. And really a couple more holes drilled, and I'll be down to the point where I need to paint this stuff, and then I'll have to calculate how big a standoff to put there, and then dig out the right bolts to screw in it. But we're ever so much closer now to being able to hang the thing up and see it run. One of the little things that I can see as a slight problem is the power cord is just a little bit short, but I've got another extension cord laying over there that'll make up for that, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to get there. Along with the dump fee and the safety gear, there's another cost of going to the dump. Some kind of a nice nail that I picked up driving out there on all that junk. Not good. Alright, this is a preliminary fitting to see how it'll look when it's up there. And any more or less movement than it would have had. And we'll see how it does picking things up. I had lots of good suggestions on how I could probably make the wiper motor work, but I can't spend the rest of my life working on trying to make that wiper motor work. This doesn't have any power supply to it, just plugs in the wall. It'll lift up more than twice what I need, maybe 4 times as much. And yeah, it cost more, but if I kept on with things, I would eventually have paid that much anyway. So I think this is the best solution to the situation. This guy will lift 440 pounds if I double the cable. You zoom in on it. You can see the label. And the one I almost bought was on sale at $89 and had exactly half those numbers. This one was $95 on sale, so I immediately called them up when I discovered that and told them, don't ship that thing. I want the $95 job, and so that's what I got. Now you can say, well, you could have got sprockets. Yeah, I figured up the cost of sprockets at about $30 to $40. The cost of chain wasn't much, but then I didn't know for sure if the wiper motor was going to work just right or not. Even then, this guy has got a safety stop. It's got a 3/4 horsepower motor, and it's AC, so I don't have to worry about mounting a power supply anyplace. I think this one will do the job, and so there you are. All I've got to do now is just a little painting on the bracket that holds it there, and the job will be complete. So I guess, except for when I use this will be the last time that you see it in a video. I'll let her back down. See, so easy. I think that's absolutely a better solution than keeping on fighting that wiper motor. So far, I seem to strike out every time I try to use the wiper motor for anything. So there you go. On to something else. Well, now that you've seen all that, before you go, I got to tell you about Bubba. You know, Bubba lives in this little old town there, and they built this hotel, 3-story hotel, and it's 2 floors taller than all the other buildings in town, so it's kind of a, you know, a spot where people hang around and such. So one day, Bubba and Cooter, they were just right next door at the barbecued rib place. They're coming out of there, and just before they come out the door, this lady had been up on the 2nd floor of that hotel taking a bath, and she dropped her soap out on the floor, and she got out of the shower and went out and slipped on that soap, and over the balcony she went, flopped right there on the lawn in front of the hotel, you know, just plumb stark naked. And Brother Jones, the preacher, he come by and he seen that, and the first thing he says is, Lord, strike blind any man that looks upon this unfortunate woman. So then there's Bubba and Cooter standing there, and Cooter looks over at Bubba and he says, Bubba, he says, I think I'm going to risk one eye. Well, that's Bubba and Cooter for you. Y'all come on back to see the next video, and in the meantime, just keep on keeping on. Bye.